Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Honda Civic. This is a 2.2 EX diesel, finished in Nighthawk black with just 49,900 miles on the clock. Quite a unique car, just by dint of its specification really, absolutely huge spec. This car's fitted with a full black leather interior with heated seats, glass panoramic roof, neither of which were standard. These 2010 style alloy wheels, which again aren't standard, chrome kick plates and rear parking sensors, plus the Nighthawk black. So we're looking at a car with a really big specification, in absolutely fabulous condition. All the lenses on there absolutely perfect, there's no cracks in them or condensation. Really minimal stone chipping on the car. This is obviously the odd one or two, but it's much lighter than a lot I've seen on this age. Unfortunately, because it's wet today, which is, I hate doing them in the wet, but just by the sheer number of videos I've got to do, I sometimes don't have much choice. But it's a shame because the car is so crisp and the panel work so sort of, the luster of the paint's still there. It's absolutely fantastic. Front tyre, got loads and loads of tread on it. Alloy wheel, generally very good, but there is a little bit of curbing around the outside there. So that is on the car. That is, it is kind of what's on all this video. Wing mirror housing absolutely spot on and repeater there, and I say the panel work on the side absolutely, it's like a mirror smooth, it really is. Again, rear alloy pretty much unmarked on this side, to be honest with you, and rear tyres got tons and tons of tread. I'm just going to squat down just to show you the panel work, because it is just like looking in a mirror. Around the back of the car, you can see there you've got the parking sensors, and they are colour coded to the vehicle. They're not some sort of nasty aftermarket thing which stick out like a sore thumb, but it's all in very good condition. Near side of the car, again really clean and crisp. There is one tiny little dimple dent which I seem to remember seeing when I looked around it, but I'll try and pick it out for you in a second. Rear wing, again very clean indeed. Alloy wheel on the back, completely unmarked, and the tyre, which is a Michelin, got tons and tons of tread on it. I'm just going to pop down here. I'm going to try and find this little dimple dent if I can for you, but it is tiny, so I'm really nitpicking. Wing mirror housing again spot on, and the final alloy wheel again in very good condition, and a Dunlop tyre with again loads and loads of tread. So I'm going to determine to find this little dink somewhere. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Just about. You can just about make this out. Where are we? It's just about there, but it is tiny. But it's the only obvious imperfection apart from the alloy wheel with a couple of little skags that I can see on the vehicle. So coming into the boot area now, parcel shelves all there and intact. Absolutely massive boot and in very good condition. All the carpeted area is very nice indeed. Quite a few of these we see which we reject. They've been battered about in the back. Obviously got your 60/40 fold on the rear seats. Little power outlet there, and under here is normally a hidden recess, but someone's actually paid extra in this particular car to have a spare wheel fitted, which is quite a thing to find on these. That little package there is just the sill kick plates which were replaced in the car, which the last owners kept rather nicely in case someone wanted to fit the originals back in there. So coming to the back of the car now, rear door card on this offside, absolutely spot on. What I've done here, I'll just show you the back of the front seats because they're in very good condition. There's hardly a mark on those, but I've got the rear seats in their vertical position. This forms part of what they call the magic seats on the Hondas. Just a really clever and simple design. It means you have this huge secure storage area behind the seats. Quite popular for people with valuable bikes, put them in the back. Rear door card on that side, again absolutely spot on. To drop the seats down, literally just pull the lever up and drop it down. It's as simple as that. It's all beautifully engineered, and there you can see the rear leather seats in absolutely superb condition, hardly an ounce of wear on them. Down on the sill there you've got one of the chrome kick plates which has been fitted to the car as well. Coming to the front, driver's door card in lovely condition. Even this area here, which normally marks quite easy, it's got the odd one or two tiny little ones, but compared to most it's really good. Footwell area again, lovely condition. Mats, we've got a full set of Honda original mats on the car, and there you got your chrome kick plates on the car as well, which has been fitted to the vehicle. and the same on all the doors. Front driver's seat, bolsters are all absolutely superb. The seat looks pretty much like new in all honesty. Then coming across, we've got the passenger seat again, in absolutely super condition. Just pan up there, excuse the pun, we've got the big glass panoramic roof as well. Alright, so inside the car now, just show you the passenger door card as well. Again, absolutely super condition, not a mark on it. The dashboard itself is in absolutely super condition. There's no marks or scratches on there that I can see of any great note. Obviously EX specs, you've got this control panel down here for audio, climate and map, and obviously your main menu there as well. And then you've got your sat nav, obviously all fully functional there as well. Climate control can be operated bizarrely in 3 ways on the car, but I tend to use these controls here. Old fashioned to me, but it's just the way I like to do it. You can do it by voice activation, but at speed you tend to get radio 3 and nothing else. 6-speed gearbox lever, again all in super order. Little cubby hole there. This one's been, a little jack point's been fitted to the vehicle. Not sure what that's for, a little charger or something, I don't know, but it was in there with the car. And then we've got your heated seat switches, all working absolutely perfectly. In fact, everything does that we've pressed so far on the vehicle, it's all in lovely order. And your little sort of cup holder, you can put that into the central position if you want, and obviously ashtray there as well, which hasn't been used from what I can see. Get rid of that. Come across to the main dashboard, my favourite part. Twin tier or 2-deck dashboard, whatever you want to call it. Just show you obviously engine running there, 49,929 miles. Auto lights and auto wipers, and your multifunction steering wheel there as well, with audio controls, cruise, information display, and your voice activation equipment as well. Starter button, obviously on the Hondas, and obviously you've got electric folding mirrors, which all work absolutely perfectly on the car. Right, this is a video, a short road test for a Honda Civic. This is a 2.2 EX diesel. This particular car is registered LA07KRD, and the mileage at the start of this road test is 49,921 miles. The reason we do the road tests is basically, as I say on all of them, is we're now selling to customers all over the country and the continent, and we just want people to see the cars in operation prior to them coming to see us, so I can let you know if there's any issues and feedback my experiences from the car on the test drive. Worth pointing out that the test drive is done on exactly the same roads as any prospective buyer will be testing the cars. So in that sense should be completely representative of what you should feel when you get here. Starting with the engine on the car, clearly a very low mileage example. It's been very well looked after. You can tell that straight away. The engine starts absolutely first press of the button. Settles to a very, very even idle. No fluctuations, no strange noises, whirrings, vibrations, whistles or otherwise. They're a stonking unit. They're really great engines. This one pulls absolutely beautifully, very, very smooth, very quiet. It's got tons and tons of guts. Throttle response is really smooth. Goes through the rev range, beautifully. Just come to a stop here, so we've got idle there. It's absolutely rock solid. Clutch in, clutch out, clutch in, clutch out. No difference in the idle at all. So there's no vibrations coming back through the clutch pedal. More of the engine in later in the video, as I was going to open up a little bit more. But in essence, a super unit. Engine then drives through clutch into the gearbox. Clutch on the car, as you heard there, or didn't hear rather, is very, very smooth in operation. Actuation's got no squeaks, clicks or otherwise. The bite point on the clutch pedal is absolutely perfect, right in the sweet spot. Clutch then goes through rather to the 6-speed gearbox. You'll often hear me, if you see my other videos, eulogising about what a great gearbox this is, and this is another wonderful example of the best gearbox in this class by a country mile. Shift quality is absolutely superb. Engagement is beautifully judged. synchro mesh, absolutely brilliantly done. Linkage on this one exactly as it was when it was new. It just feels incredibly taut and precise. What I love about the gearboxes is the fact that they've got this very sweet, easy action, but it has a real precision about it, which, given the fact that, as with 90% at least of most modern cars, there'll be cables running from the gear lever here through to the gearbox at the front of the car there. Now, unfortunately, on a lot of cars, that means you end up with a vague, imprecise gear shift. On the Civics, you've got this brilliant box, and this is a wonderful example of one. So, in terms of the powertrain, clutch, gearbox, engine, utterly faultless. Worth pointing out, no warning lights on the car relating to any of those or anything else for that matter. As I'm driving along now, car's tracking absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibration at all through the steering of the car. There's not even the slightest hint of anywhere in the steering at all. It's got this wonderfully precise steering rack. It's brilliant. But again, maybe a little bit more of that later in the video as well. That brings me on to the suspension of the car. Riding absolutely perfectly along here now. Again, as with the steering, I'm just trying to listen out for sort of clunks and bangs coming from underneath. It shouldn't really be there. I mean, as in a second, there's quite a nice little bump in a second, you'll hear it going over the bump. But what I'm listening out for is kind of those kind of metallic knocks that you get secondary to the bump. That could be things like kind of suspension struts and drop links. But there's nothing on the car at all, so here you go, you'll hear it going over this horrible little bump. But there's nothing, it's just, yeah. But the suspension complements the steering absolutely brilliantly. But as I said, maybe a little bit more of that if I get time later in the video. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to turn left up this road, and it's a horrible road. It's a rotten road surface. But I'm just going to put my foot down a little bit harder, just to sort of accelerate through the gears, and then hit the brakes reasonably hard as well. So bear with me, I'll leave a little bit gap to the car in front. Yeah, it accelerates beautifully, clutch bites absolutely perfectly. Brakes are solid, lovely pedal on the car. They're right towards the top of the pedal, which is exactly where you want them to be, not stupidly over servoed as you get in a lot of French cars, so modulating them is very easy indeed. And also makes heel and towing if you're into that kind of thing. It's a bit old school, but I still love to do it. So it's a nice position for that as well. But there's no vibration coming back through the brake pedal, no pulsing or rumblings, which suggests everything's in very good order underneath. Given how well the car's been looked after, that comes as no great surprise, to be honest with you. Also, as I drive along, I tend to listen out for kind of wind noise that shouldn't be there. And you know, if you've got a badly fitted sunroof or windscreen, then that might sort of hiss into the car, or someone's skagged a door seal. But it's all very subdued, very quiet, exactly as it should be on the car. So just going to check the cruise control, make sure that's all functioning. So foot off the throttle now. Just going to slow it down on this little actuator and speed it up, and that works absolutely perfectly. So in terms of the drive of the car, I cannot fault it. But not only that, it just feels incredibly tight and taut, with no discernible wear in the car at all. It's absolutely wonderful. And don't think I'm just saying it. You know, if you came here and you could find something that I hadn't spotted on the drive, then you know, I'll stick my hand up. But I do criticise cars on the videos, and you know, it's usually things, you know, where I could pick up a little bit of wear, things we can attend to. But on this one, absolutely nothing. Brings me to the interior of the car. Obviously EX specs, we've got a huge specification as standard. Over and above that, as you've probably seen from the specification on the advert, this is a really big spec vehicle. You've got, you know, this lovely leather interior. I've had to check the heated seat as well while we're at it. Heated seats, which is a big option on the car. Also the glass panoramic roof above my head with the electric blind, which all works perfectly. It's also been fitted with the 2010 model alloys, which look really lovely on the car. And some chrome kick plates as well. So someone has spent a lot of money on this car, over and above standard, many thousands of pounds, and they've kept it in beautiful condition. It's literally just arrived. I saw it obviously before we bought it, so I knew it was in good condition. But it's inside the car, there's virtually no discernible wear that I can see at all from the driver's seat. Dashboard, absolute work of art. It really is a brilliant dashboard. EX spec, as I said, so you've got this big screen sat-nav system, which you can see is fully functional there. Air conditioning's piping out lovely cold air. I've got the air conditioning on full because it's... So I'm going to put the heater back up now. But it's all in perfect order. It's absolutely superb. All the pixelation on the readouts, absolutely spot on. So the nav works perfectly. You scroll through the menus, and you've got different things there. It's all absolutely as it should be. So I turn it off so it's not shouting at us. And then the best part of the dashboard is this: you've got this two-tier design in front of me here, which is absolutely superb. It basically means that I can see the readout for the speed now, but I can look at the car in front, and at the corner of my eye I can easily see the speed I'm doing. It's such a clever and simple system, but it works brilliantly. Down below that you've got a more conventional binnacle, and that gives you your big rev counter, information display in the middle of it, and again all working absolutely perfectly. Temperature gauge and fuel gauge there. Temperature's a third of the way up the gauge, which is exactly again where you want it to be on a Honda car, petrol, diesel or otherwise. But no, grand. Auto lights, auto wipers all work perfectly. Then you've got this multifunction steering wheel with audio, cruise as we know works, information display and voice activation functions down there. We're coming towards the end of the video now. Just to go back really to the drive of the car. I always find it interesting when I sort of read back to old kind of road tests, and so by the way, the heated seats working beautifully. So I've got a toasty backside now. When they first came out, people were sort of, some people were kind of critical of the ride was too hard. And I'm sure if you go around on a load of potholes and drive it purely in the city, then it might be on the firm side. But on roads like this, it is brilliant, because up in front of us now is it's a very challenging couple of corners. Sweeping left, which I'll take a little bit quicker than I would do normally. But it's the utter composure the car has, hardly any steering wheel movement required to turn it in. The car doesn't wallow, and then this horrible off-camber right-hander, and it dollops down there, turn it in, and it's just so composed. And that's comfort to me. I've got passengers lolloping around, getting sort of car sick in them. It's a brilliant car. Absolutely love it. But the purpose of the test drive was to just give some feedback on the car. All I can say is it's a low mileage, wonderfully well looked after car, which drives absolutely beautifully. I've driven lots of them, lower mileage, much newer as well, and none has driven any better than this car.